Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another episode of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. Y'all know who I am. Manager Marty, the Walmart manager, the Target manager, according to Blue Blood Sports TV, the Water Boy, a man who lives in a linen closet with mothballs in it. I'm also a man that Timothy Bradley claims he hope I get sued. And speaking of lawsuit, I'm also the man that Floyd Schofield Sr. promised me, told me in an email back in December of 2024 that after his son, Kid Austin, fights Shakur Stevenson in February of 2025, that he would file a lawsuit against me. I'm also the guy that Rachel Donnier called broke. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I'm also the guy that Victor Conti says that I'm a homeless musician begging for change on the side of the road. I mean, why do these people that have all of this money and fame always find their way to insult me? Well, we need answers. What's going on, yo? I love the fact that I'm here this morning celebrating my birthday weekend. So I was going for a whole week off alive. I just love each and every last one of you. Appreciate it. You can be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me today. Welcome to everyone who's watching the replay of this live. Come on in. We're going to do our Town Watch check-in another day. We got to get right on in to the show. We need answers. I just want to let y'all know I miss y'all so much. I'm so inspired and motivated to do these live broadcasts and even my videos that I publish. I appreciate all the viewership. We're upward of almost 2.5 million views worldwide in the past 2.5 years. And your viewership is increasing exponentially. Listen, I'm going to get right on to the show. If you are a spy, a hater, or a detractor, I welcome you as well. If you came over here because someone else sent you over here to collect information and then report it back to them, I welcome you here as well. If you are a content creator, and I'm not talking about the content creators who support this channel or regularly view this channel, or content creators that I'm cool with, not y'all. I'm talking about the other ones. You know, the content creators that come over here, they don't be in the live chat. You know, they hide in the background. Yeah. While I'm serving food, they sit in the background and then they bring their plate and aluminum foil to the family cookout because they know they're not a part of the family. And then they come up, get food served to them. Then they wrap the plate up with the food that I served them. Then they go back to their house and then they try to serve that same food to their audience. Basically what I'm saying is they hijack my talking points and they steal my quotes and steal my slogans and then subliminally diss me. Yeah, them. If you're here, I ain't mad at you. I respect the hustle. I welcome you as well. Now, I have to put a plug in for the sponsors of this channel. If you reside or if you had any issues in the states of Pennsylvania and New Jersey, I promise you, if you need a personal injury attorney, you need to contact my friends of this channel, sponsors of this channel, Cortland Manus LLC. They are personal injury lawyers in the state of Pennsylvania and in the state of New Jersey. Their number on the bottom of your screen, 267-457-4201, or you can go on their website, wefightwewin.com. Now, I'm going to put this plug in there because it's not about the fact that they are sponsoring the channel and they're friends of, no, 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 no. What it's really about is credibility. And the only reason why you hear me talk about them so much and promote and advertise their law firm is because I utilize their services, personally speaking, on numerous of occasions within the past 10 years. I have a 10-year relationship with them. And guess what? When I tell you they fight and they win, that's facts. Now, yes, Rachel Donier said I was broke. We all know that to be true. And on top of that, Floyd, if you're listening, Floyd Schofield Sr., you can file your lawsuit. You ain't going to get nothing. You can go file it because I don't need Cortland Manus now. But I know there were several times in my life that I did need them to represent me, and they did. And I wasn't broke no more, Rachel, because Cortland Manus not only fight, but they also win. And they will win you a lot of money. With that being said, I also refer them to family members and friends, and I'm referring them to you, the audience members, and I appreciate you. Now, that's their plug. Now, my plug is this. Speaking of being broke, you know it is expensive to run a YouTube channel. Yes, I'm not a bigger platform like, some other counterparts, but you know what? I have the loudest voice on YouTube when it comes to boxing. But it's because of your contributions and your monetary resources that help this show and all the published content come out and reverberate all across the world with education and entertainment for all of you. So the cash app is at the bottom of your screen, $ Manager Marty. Now enough with the hugs, handshakes, and Valentine's Day cards. I already gave y'all what I wanted to give you all with regards to Floyd Schofield Jr., a.k.a. Kid Austin, who obviously knocked out a fellow Philadelphian, a good man, Tevin Former. So we won't beat up a dead horse. If you missed my video, go back. It's right there. I just published it yesterday. You all can go back and watch that. Jake Paul, we knew he was going to beat Chavez. I mean, Chavez was very inactive outside of the ring and inside of the ring. Yeah, so that happened over the weekend boxing. Deontay Wilder fought on BLK Prime. I was expecting him to close out that fight within the first 3 rounds by knockout. Unfortunately, he did not do that. He did score a couple of knockdowns, and then, of course, the referee stopped the fight. I believe that was in round 7? Round 8? Something like that? Yeah. Lamont Roach, right? He recently did an interview, and he's talking about Tank Davis. He was asked a series of questions. I just wanted to play a little snippet of it because they don't have it published like the full audio. Well, it was actually a video published, but I want to play a small portion of the little 60-second short that I just saw. Some interesting things that Lamont Roach said about Tank Davis. Let me cue the tape. Hold on. Yeah, so let me finish queuing this up. I'm sorry I had to take a very important call this morning. And speaking of this morning, shout out to my guy representing Philly, man. Anton, thank you. Double salute for the Cash App. Just got that. Appreciate it. Cash App $ Manager Marty. Please support the channel. I appreciate all contributions. Appreciate it so greatly. I really, really do. Now, Lamont Roach said some interesting. Let me see if I can pull up the tape. Lamont Roach said a few things that I just wanted to speak on. Let me roll the tape. Hold on. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
I know that Gervonta kind of blamed the hair grease, that the hairstylist came out and talked about it. So what advice do you want to give him maybe for the next fight going into the rematch?
No, I don't think he had hair grease in his head anyway, but still, I hope you don't got hair grease in your head the next fight. I'm not trying to hit none of that. I think he put his head up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he can still wear grease on it, but maybe he needs...
Either way, I'm not trying to hit at you. I'm not trying to hit at you. I'm not trying to hit none of that. Just know, meet me in the middle of the ring. We're going to see Steve out there.
All right. Did y'all hear that? I know that audio was a little low. That wasn't on my end. I think it was from TMZ Sports. Their microphone, it seemed like it was working properly, but the audio was low. The way that they edited that, or I don't know, but it was just low. Did y'all hear that though? Lamont Roach said he don't want to hear any excuses about Tank Davis's grease. Okay? He don't want to hear anything about Gervonta Tank Davis wearing grease in his hair in this next fight. Now, people are saying that Tank and Lamont Roach are supposed to have a rematch in August of this year. Now, I haven't heard anything on my end. I actually don't believe they're going to be fighting this August. But if they are, it will be a good time for them to get the rematch on, because you don't want to have a situation from a perspective of a fan base of competing with Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford in September. And you don't want to run into a situation where you're competing with the NFL, which is also going to be starting the season in September. And then, of course, moving forward throughout the duration of the months. So I think August is a really, really good time. But I do not believe that the fight is going to happen in August unless within the next week and a half, there's a press conference. Within the next week and a half, there is a press release by the publicist that PBC usually hire, Kelly Swanson. Some of y'all don't know who she is, but that's okay. She does great work. Her company does a tremendous job. Or Amazon Prime, or Gervonta Tank Davis, or Lamont Roach, or the promoter TGB Promotions, Tom Brown. Now, if any of these people come out and they actually publicize it, that the fight is officially happening in August, I will believe it. Because they're credible. I will believe it. But Lamont Roach is basically telling Tank Davis he don't want to hear any excuses in the rematch. Okay? He doesn't want to hear any excuses in the rematch. No hair grease excuses, no anything. In fact, he even said, if y'all didn't hear him, he said that Tank Davis, he believed that Tank Davis cut his hair. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's what he said. Now, I think that Lamont Roach should definitely do more interviews, put himself back into the media, especially if this fight is supposedly happening in August, get the fans galvanized to basically buy into the hype of this rematch. Because at the end of the day, I played several clips and multiple videos that I've basically published in the past couple of months, probably within the last 60 days, with Tank Davis himself. And it's on my video, it's on my channel. Y'all can go, fact check me where I posted it. It was right after the fight when he fought Lamont Roach. He basically said that Lamont Roach was not next in the rematch. He wasn't fighting Lamont Roach next in the rematch. He said he wasn't opposed to a rematch, and he would definitely run it back with Lamont Roach, but he wasn't the next opponent. That's what Tank Davis said immediately following the first fight that he had with Lamont Roach. I played the audio. It was from the press conference. The point that I'm making is right after he said that, obviously, as we know, within 24 hours, you all were here with me, most of you, when I did the live. And I said, I don't want to see Tank Davis fight anyone else next except for Lamont Roach, because it's good business. It was a controversial fight because obviously Tank Davis took a knee, and then he, instructed his cornerman to wipe something out from his eyes or from his face. He was in there in a competitive matchup, which I predicted there was going to be Tank's toughest opposition yet in that ring with Lamont Roach. And then the ending itself was controversial because obviously most people believe that Lamont Roach actually won that fight. I actually had that fight a draw. I already gave y'all what my analysis was and my observation of that fight when I went live right after the fight, 24 hours later. So I won't rehash that. But the point I'm making is, if this fight is happening next, it's really good for boxing, it's good for business, and it's good for both fighters. Tank Davis typically don't run it back in rematches. I mean, the first time that I think he should have ran it back in the rematch was with a last-minute replacement on 2-week notice, Isaac Cruz. And even though Isaac Cruz lost that fight, Isaac Cruz have been on so many different pay-per-views, making a lot of money, even though he lost a fight. I'm the only one that told you this, and I'm going to tell you again. A professional boxer can lose a fight, but based on how they perform in the fight, they can win a fan, and that's more important. And Isaac Cruz won a lot of fans. In fact, even in this fight, Lamont Roach fought Tank Davis. And even though the scorecards were what they were, Lamont Roach won a lot of fans. So it's always good for boxing when you have a controversial ending with two good, skilled fighters to just go ahead and run it right back. And I think that if they do that, win, lose, or draw for either guy, it is really, really good for boxing. And speaking of that, I was talking to Little Marty, my junior, who was also born on my birthday, by the way. Of course, none of you knew that. And Little Marty reminded me of something earlier this week. Because we talk about boxing. We talk about a lot of things. He just turned 18 years old. But anyway, he said, Dad, this has really been a good year in boxing. We've had some really, really good fights. And it's been consistent. And I said, Little Marty, you right about that. I've been training my son since he was like 3 years old in boxing. So he's been in boxing like basically like 90% of his life. He know when he spent time with his dad when he was a kid, cartoons, kid movies, and boxing. That's the only three things we watched on TV. And my daughters too. Same thing. They know what it is when they come spend time with their dad. And then there was a time, of course, we all lived together. But the point that I'm making is this. He's right. We've had some really, really, really good boxing from January of 2025 all the way up until like now. I'm not saying every single fight was competitive. I'm just talking about just the fact that we had a lot of boxing that we were able to enjoy within the past 6 months. 2025 have really been a really good year of boxing, right? Now, I can't wait for this rematch. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. When the rematch get announced, because it is going to happen, I just don't know when. Between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, expect me to be there. I was going to be at the first fight, the first time, but I had other engagements that I committed to, and I had to keep my word. But I will be there. I definitely will be at the rematch between Lamont Roach and Tank Davis. And I also told y'all this 24 hours after the first fight, and I'm going to say it now. The second fight, in my opinion, will have a definitive winner. It is going to be close. But I believe in the rematch, it's going to be a more definitive winner. And guess what? Even if it's not, there's nothing wrong with running it back a third time. A third time for a rubber match. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we've seen so many fighters in boxing run it back 3 times, right? I mean, we had, who ran it back? Who was that? Morales, Pacquiao, Riddick Bowe, Holyfield. Who else? Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. So there's nothing wrong with running it back 3 times. And guess what? We all gonna get our money's worth every time Lamont Roach and Tank Davis get in that ring because styles make fights. Now, not to belabor the point, let's move forward. If you look at your screen, if you can, Turkey Al-Sheikh, I'm gonna read his tweet. I know there were other tweets that was already put out there, like, from, Devin Haney. There has been multiple interactions between Brian Norman Sr. and Bill Haney, obviously the father of Brian Norman Jr. and the father of Devin Haney, right? So many things swirling around on social media, but I chose this tweet. Turkey Al-Sheikh tweeted on X, formerly known as Twitter, and I will read this and quote, "In November in Riyadh, Brian Norman Jr. will defend his welterweight title versus Devin Haney on a Riyadh season card. More exciting surprises to come." I believe, end quote. I believe Turkey Al-Sheikh meant November because it says November in Riyadh. Yeah, I think he meant to say November, so it probably was an error. Sort of like when Terrence Crawford says you can text me anytime and I won't pop up dirty. He really meant to say test, right? T-E-S-T and not T-E-X-T. No comment. But anyway, in November in Riyadh, Brian Norman Jr. will defend his welterweight title versus Devin Haney. Now, a lot of people know what I think about that. A lot of people want to know, what do Manager Marty think about that fight? Well, I think that is a good fight. I really do. I think that Brian Norman Jr. fighting Devin Haney is a respectable fight. I do. I believe it's a good fight. I mean, both of their styles will make it an interesting, entertaining fight. I do believe that. I do believe that. I appreciate all the contributions. We haven't had the air fryer warm. The air fryer is not even plugged up. It's not even plugged up. You know, your super chats help the show continue to thrive. And plug the air fryer up, and then let the air fryer warm up. I think it's a good fight. I really do. No, seriously, I do. I mean, the buildup of the fight will be entertaining as well. I mean, you got Brian Norman Sr., and then you have Bill Haney. I mean, two guys who I called out on numerous occasions of capping and being dishonest, right? More so with Bill Haney than Brian Norman Sr., but I caught both of them in several lies. More so inconsistencies, really, I would say. And definitely lies from Bill Haney. I mean, look, we got to keep it real. And I know most people don't want to hear this, but I'm the most controversial, the most credible, the most insulted, the most imitated, but the least paid content creator on YouTube in boxing. So I can say these words. Both of these guys have an issue with me. I mean, Brian Norman Sr. was on YSM Sports Media in my face when I was there talking to him. And he said, "You're not no real manager. You don't know nothing about boxing." And then we know Bill Haney, who's been over here on this channel live in the live chat, but did not click the link on numerous of occasions to come talk to me face to face. He said that I'm just a manager at Walmart. I'm just a manager at Target. I mean, both of these fathers have insulted me because all I've done was tell the truth on them and how both of them constantly try to live vicariously through their sons. Now, I think that Brian Norman Sr. is more credible than Bill Haney, and twice on Sunday, any day of the week. But the bottom line is that both of these fathers, they have an issue with me. So not only is the buildup of this fight both based on their personalities and or personality disorders, this is definitely going to be a tremendous buildup to promote this fight. And then when you include me in the mix, when you talk about YouTube, oh man, I'm going to make sure that it's entertaining on this channel with regards to both of the fathers, not so much of the sons, the fighters. I advocate for the fighters. So I'm going to definitely make sure it's entertaining in the build-up of this fight. And double salute to my guy, Creo the Traveler. Man, he's a long-time supporter of the show, of the channel. Double salute to Creo. Appreciate your contribution, man. Thank you for your support to the channel in the super chat. Creo says, "We ain't going to find this nowhere else. I'm so glad I'm here." And let me say this because I know the way Creo want me to say it, the way I usually say it. You ain't gonna find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad you're here. Hey, Creo, appreciate you, Creo. That's my guy right there, the traveler, man. The traveling man. That's my guy, straight up. Appreciate you, Creo. Now, enough with the hugs, handshakes, and Valentine's Day card. The air flyer just warmed up so I can say this now. Man, y'all believe this fight gonna happen? I want to make sure that we are clear that you're hearing it from me. I doubt if this fight actually happens. I really do. And I've been saying that for a while now, since both of these dads been on social media making their rounds against each other and towards each other. I don't believe this fight's going to happen. You know what will convince me that this fight is going to happen between Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney? Is the same 4 words, really is 3 words mixed in one, that I keep telling them to do. Show the paperwork. See, that's all they have to do. Show the paperwork. You know, that's my new slogan for 2025, right? Show the paperwork. When people keep tweeting stuff and people keep on speaking on interviews or on their social media handles, et cetera, I don't want to hear no more hearsay. because hearsay is heresy. Show the paperwork. You know, like when Floyd Schofield Sr. and Jr., a.k.a. Kid Austin, talking about he got poisoned in Saudi Arabia. Somebody intentionally poisoned them. Show the paperwork. I want to hear all this. People keep on saying the fight's going to happen this day. The fight's going to happen. When is it going to happen? If this fight's going to happen between Brian Norman and Devin Haney, tell me where it's going to happen at. Now somebody's going to say, well, it's going to happen in Riyadh, in Saudi, because that what Turkey said. Oh, is it? So then that means that the British Boxing Board of Control, they already agreed to approve this fight. Okay, so it should be easier to show the paperwork if you have an athletic commission or a sanctioning body agreeing to approve the bout, correct? Okay, so show the paperwork then. What date in November this fight's going to happen on? Y'all don't know? Neither do I. So that's what I'm trying to get at. I know it's good publicity to just put something out there. Anybody can tweet something. And listen, if the fight's going to happen in November, I'm cool with it because of the characters involved. See, I want y'all to make sure y'all understand where I'm getting at. Because of the characters that are involved, who have a known history of gaslighting, projecting, deflecting, manipulating, downright lying, I don't believe it. And I don't call Turkey excellency. There's only one that I serve that's excellent. There's only one. There's only one who I refer to as excellency. There's only one. No, it's not my mama. You know how black men are with their moms. No, not my mom. I love my mom, but not her. I'm talking about the Lord, God. And Turkey al-Sheikh ain't no God. He's not the Lord. Now, if I was in Saudi, I know that's why I'm not going over there. That's just why I'm not going over there. Because I think if you over there, you got to bow down and kiss his feet and all that. I'm not doing none of that. But while I'm here in America, oh, his name Turkey. He ain't holding my hand. Remember he was holding Terrence Crawford's hand? Woo! Anyway, another story for another day. I don't believe this fight's going to happen, me personally. Show the paperwork. That's all they got to do, and I will believe it. Now, when we get closer to that time, if they really show proof and evidence, then I would believe. But right now, in July, almost July 1st, tomorrow, July 1st? Nah, I don't. Wait, hold up. We talking about August, September, October, November. You mean to tell me we got to wait 4 months for that fight? And I'm supposed to believe it now? Anything can happen in boxing. I've seen so many things happen in boxing behind the scenes where even me as a manager negotiating, terms for a major fight, right? 2 good fighters, and of course, one of them I'm representing, and then something happens within the next 3 to 4 or 5 months, and then the fight don't happen, right? So that's why I don't believe. Look at the characters involved. We got Turkey, Bill Haney, and then Brian Norman Sr. Like, them 3 characters alone, like, I need the paperwork, man. If y'all putting it out there now, show the paperwork. I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much. I have to believe it when I see the evidence that this fight is literally going to happen. And look, I applaud Devin Haney if this fight's going to happen, because he's fighting somebody who is not smaller in weight than him. He's fighting somebody who's not older in age than him. And he's fighting somebody that's not overmatched. I mean, 95% of Devin Haney's resume is based on what I just said. That's not hating. That's a fact. Okay? All right? And we don't know who's going to train Devin Haney for this fight, if it does happen, because Sugar Shane Mosley is still waiting for him to receive his money. Look, that's what Sugar Shane said. Sugar Shane Mosley, I didn't even speak on that yet. I was going to leave that alone. Sugar Shane Mosley is the one that publicly put out information that Devin Haney still did not pay him all of his money for training him. So we know Sugar Shane Mosley is not going to be in the camp for Devin Haney. We don't know who his trainer is going to be. And we don't know who his defensive expert is going to be, because we know that Devin Haney can't avoid getting hit by left hooks. Okay? And I can't let Brian Norman Jr. off the hook because he ducked Boots. And we all know that. I know some people don't like Boots, or they just want to see Boots fight, higher level competition, and they criticize him a lot, and I get that. But we all know Brian Norman Jr. ducked Boots. We know that. We already know that, right? Okay. So all I'm saying is, by all of the circumstances surrounding what we're talking about, which is the fight and the characters involved, man, show the paperwork. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.